Hello, Internet. Doing something a little different today because I'm kind of behind on videos, so you got to stockpile. That's what it is. It's what the algorithm wants. Do what the algorithm says. It's like following AI instruction, man. It's super easy. It just tells you how to live your life. Anyway, so I'm behind on everything. When you're taking trees down, you should want to take trees down in the winter. That's when they're the driest, regardless of how wet your winter is. When they drop their leaves, they've been dropped for, I don't know the exact science behind it, but once they drop their leaves and they've been dropped for a bit, the trees are pretty much at their driest point, and go ahead and start dropping them. So in true fashion for me, that's on the screen, that's not on my face, good. In true fashion for me, I waited too long. It's now the middle of March, and I'm basically down to my last tree. I took the bulk out, and I'm down to the last tree, and I'm so hot, my glasses are fogging up, I can't see nothing. So I'm going to show you how I utilize the Jeep, the winch, an ARB recovery system, and take a tree down. Is this the appropriate way to take a tree down? Probably not. I am not a professional tree taker downer, so do not take this as professional advice. This is me. Sorry for shaky cam. This is me showing you how I do something. Now, let's flip around and see what we got. Okay, so good old JK getting put to work. I need some grippy tires. Those ATs just barely do. We got a worn VR10 winch. Still has cable, which I want to upgrade to synthetic. Down there where that green is, super zoom, and gets all foggy and nasty and out of clarity. We have ARB tree saver and snatch block from their recovery kit. So far, things that I have found wrong with that recovery kit is it came with 2 left-hand gloves. Why? I don't know. It just did. Change of view. Originally, I was going to work off of that birch, and when I started putting tension on it, because I used too long of a strap here, I had to use 2 straps just to be able to get everything. It didn't give me enough winch cable to actually put any pressure and pull. So I ended up moving the Jeep up a few feet and strapping it to that tree. We have 2 20K snatch straps set up, 3/4 shackle in the middle. I'm sorry, that's not right. And the shackle turned on me while I was getting the slings all the way up the tree. So if I die and I crush my garage and kill my car, then that's on me. Don't do my stupid stuff. Your shackle shouldn't be pulling apart like a wishbone. It should be pulling against the pin and the crown of the horseshoe. So on this tree that we're taking down, and some of you might ask why we're taking trees down. So as you can see, my garage is built, well, maybe you can't see, I got a brush pile. My garage is built into a hill. And it's in fairly sad shape from people not taking care of it for years and years. And down here in this one corner, where it's at the highest point of the hill and I guess the lowest point of the wall, or highest point of the wall and whatever, there's barely any space. It fills up super easy with leaves, and it causes rodent problems in the wintertime as they're searching for a warm place to nest up. They've destroyed a lot of the soffit in that back corner. It's a mess, but it's the steps I'm trying to take. So I figure get some of these trees out, which will eliminate a lot of the leaf fall here. I'd like to get these pines out of the way, but we've got power pole and propane tank, and it's right next to the house, and I'll have to pay somebody probably to do that. I might be able to pull these backwards once this is gone. Anyway, that's future me problem. I took down this half. As you can see, the tree splits. I'm pointing, not in camera. As you can see, the tree splits. I took down this half a couple weeks ago, and I couldn't get the strap up high enough. It was really wobbly. It would teeter back and forth towards the garage way more than I was comfortable with. So this time, I slung a rope and got the strap up there, which is at least the halfway point, if not above. And it's pulling down fairly aggressively. That sycamore is about 3 times the size of this tree, so I don't think we're having any problem pulling against that one. I'm going to film this, or at least attempt to film this, showing me what I'm going to do. I'm getting ready to slack up the winch because right now I got it super tight. I needed to tension up the sling up there on the tree. My aim is poor. Well, hold on a sec. We'll go back to facing me ugly man. All right, so I had to put a lot of tension on it to get the strap tightened and be where it needed to be. So now I need to relax the tree so that it has, I don't want slack in my cable, but I don't want it as tight as it currently is. Then I need to make my hinge cut, then I'm going to tension it, and I'm gonna make my back cut. And what I've been doing with these, again, not a tutorial, it's just the way I'm doing it. I make my hinge cut, I put tension on it, I come in from the back and I do about up to about an inch away from the hinge, and I apply a little bit more tension to it, and then if it's gonna fall, it falls. If it's not gonna fall, I keep the tension on it, I come back, I do a little bit more of just a surface cut, I guess, go back to the Jeep, put tension on it again, and I work back and forth. It's slow, it's tedious, it's absolutely probably not the right way to do any of this, but it's how I'm comfortable with it. You know, and you got to try to keep yourself as safe as possible. I don't like the Jeep. My big head's in the way. I don't like where I ended up having to park the Jeep, but I also didn't want to have to put another strap onto anything and lessen the amount of winch rope and pull that I had available, because that was the problem with the first tree, is I was running out of winch line. So this is what it's going to be. In theory, it should fall right over that way. Should actually fall where's my finger? Should fall right about there. Not gonna happen. I know that. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. It's fine. As long as we can keep it that direction and not backwards into the Jeep or that way into the garage, I'm calling it a win. It's fine. So, yeah, fun times. Let's get this party started. Okay, so would have been more dramatic if I had set up an extra camera or, you know, changed the camera angle so you could watch it go timber and fall down, which I do not shout timber. But we will turn you around, let you see what I got. Maybe I'll turn you around. Oh, glove. Okay, so there she is in all her glory, drop down, and I'm sure everybody's watching. You know, everybody is better than everybody else. It's the way life is. It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. Go look it up if you don't know what it is. But yeah, we're down. I mean, okay, my cut was a little shallow on this side, definitely. But not too bad. I mean, it's not ultra spiky and hairy or anything like that. I'm not good at getting straight lines. That just is the way it is. Oh, we got a nice big tree. Also, if you noticed on this tree, well, and I don't even know if I showed it or not. Do you see how all the branches are sticking up like that? There were no branches pointing in this direction. The entire tree had grown over the garage, which was also a problem because it puts all the weight load on there. And if there's ever a bad storm, I mean, let's face it, trees want to fall where they're heaviest, right? So it was another reason to get this down. But hopefully it'll help clear up some of the leaf issue I have with this. And I can start focusing in on like regrading. It domes right here. So the water comes down here and it'll roll that way, but it'll also roll this way. So I need to regrade that so it all rolls that way, or, you know, channels down here. I've got a big drain culvert right there. I don't want it kind of splitting the difference the way it is. I want it to, I prefer it mainly to go that direction, but I'll take both without the hill in a way. But yeah, right way to take a tree down? Have no idea. I've seen people use winches, come alongs, things like that to help pull trees. Hold on. I am terrible at this. I was super nervous about taking it down. All I could see is it crashing on my garage. So now I'm like all doped up on fucking adrenaline and stuff, which I know is silly, but I'm older. My stuff matters to me. I'm nervous that it's going to get crushed. I don't want to get crushed. I was really afraid that the dang tree would fall the wrong direction and crush the Jeep because I didn't have it behind the trees the way I wanted it to be. Usually I park it around some trees to provide some protection. Anyway, yeah. So, not a tutorial on how to take trees down. You do you with it. But it is showing, this is part of my plan, you know, the Wrangler gets around this style of my property, the wooded areas of my property, much better than the Dodge does. Now, I can get the Dodge through this section, fine. But once I have to start getting up the hill, it just doesn't do it. It's just not, the trails aren't cut big enough. They were for smaller logging equipment, you know, something like a D2 probably, something along those sizes. But I got to start putting the Wrangler to use for it, and this is one of the ways that I've been using it. So my big expensive worn winch is coming in handy. My big expensive ARB recovery kit is coming in handy. They are not specifically just off-road use only items in terms of like you have to be out four-wheeling, you have to be out mudding, you have to be out doing something like that. This is how I'm using it on my property. Again, maybe not the right way to take a tree down. I don't know, but you know what? I still got 10 fingers and 10 toes. I still got 2 arms and 2 legs. I still got a functioning garage, and I got a Jeep that ain't crushed. I got a house that ain't crushed. So as far as I'm concerned, win. All right, everybody, get out, have fun, do something cool.